Which archetype do you believe represents peace? You can type it in the chat. Is it the queen, the wizard, the warrior, or the lover? Which one represents peace? Peace. I'm still waiting for the right answer. Everybody's on the lover side. It's not the lover, but if you reduce these, there we go. There we go. You got it, ladies. Lisa, good job. Tanya, good job. Charity, excellent. The warrior. And let me tell you,
Yeah.
everybody gets confused on this one too. In fact, most people say that the warrior is responsible for the power, which it's not the warrior. The warrior responds to the queen. The queen is in charge of her domain. So please, if nothing else you remember from today, it's the queen who's in power. The warrior is responsible for something very important to the queen. It's not it's not the power. He's responsible for her peace. Hello, ladies. Hello, are we waking up? Are we waking up? The warrior is responsible for the peace. Why? The warrior is the part of you that protects what matters through grounded action and clear boundaries. So, peace is not the absence of a conflict or a war. It's not the silence that follows an argument everyone agrees to stop having. That's not peace. Peace is the safety in connection, knowing that you can be fully seen, be fully known, and not lose your relationship. But yet, this is where most people break. They either go into control or shut down. That's usually where they go, one or the other. But the warrior stays grounded, present, honest. Isabel did not feel safe in her relationship, not because John was dangerous, but because she had learned that being vulnerable meant being invisible. She would share something tender, a fear, a longing, a disappointment, and John focused on fixing and moving things forward, would offer a solution or dismiss her feelings altogether. So she felt more alone than before she spoke. She built the wall, not out of anger, but out of self-protection. In their fearless love journey, John learned to receive her without rushing to resolve her, ladies. He did learn. He learned to sit with the discomfort of her pain without trying to make it smaller. And Isabel learned that her feelings were not a burden, because unfortunately, many of us have learned and believe that we're just a burden to others, but we're not. Our feelings are not a burden. What they are is an invitation. And the first time she allowed herself to cry in front of him without apologizing, and he stayed, and he held her, and he did not say a word, something between them exhaled. That is peace, not the peace you negotiate, the peace you build slowly, intentionally together. How many of you ladies would like to do an exercise now so we can start embodying some of this conversation or this teaching that I am providing you today? Because I would like for you guys to be able to remember this and have it embedded so that you have something to shift into other than the learned survival patterns that most of us carry. Okay, so what I would like for you to do is to take a deep breath in this moment and just ground yourself. So nice deep breath again in through your nose, deep into the belly, and then slowly and gently releasing. I want you to consider a moment that triggers you, whether it's a conflict or a tender, vulnerable situation that is triggering for you. Think about what you do in those moments. Do you overgive and overfunction, which is the same thing? You're overgiving, overfunction. Or do you withdraw? I want you to type it in the chat. Overgive or withdraw. Okay, we've got lots of withdrawers here today. I'm an overgiver, so I would be in there as an overgiver and overfunctioning. So now the next thing I want you to do is consider this question and answer it from your queen. I want you to access your queen. Okay, so nice deep breath, access your queen. And how would your queen answer this? The next time you get triggered, what would you do instead? And I'm going to give you some options. Speak the truth, set boundaries, stop overgiving, stay present, take care of your needs. So the next time you're triggered, how would you like to respond? And go ahead and type it in the chat. We've got set boundaries. What else? How else would you want to change the survival patterns that we've all be honest? Excellent. Be honest. For me, it would be tell the truth. I am a truth teller. God has called me to be a truth teller. But after so many abusive relationships, after a while, we just silence ourselves. And our truth is like, nobody needs to hear it. I'm just going to disappear. So speaking the truth and being honest is a big one, especially for those of us who have survived narcissistic abuse. Okay, excellent. Congratulations, ladies. This is called self-leadership, pattern recognition, and then pattern creation. It's how we start to change the love and the leadership legacy. This is how we start changing that by becoming more conscious. Slide 8, please. In the meantime, John and Isabel didn't just improve communication, they changed the love legacy their children would inherit. John stopped performing, Isabel stopped disappearing. They started to become present in their home and in their own lives. 6 months later, we spent 6 months together, and then they were complete. And Isabel then sent me a photo of them sailing through the Mediterranean. Her message to me was 3 words: we came home. They found themselves again. So the real question here lies is what legacy stops with you and what legacy transforms through you? Many of you inherited survival patterns like me. God didn't call me to do what I do because I inherited a bed of roses. I got the thorns. I love my parents. They're here and they're alive. They're 70 and 80 and they're my heroes. But I inherited a cycle that came through generationally of narcissistic abuse and sexual trauma. So I am a survivor of date rape and of the like. But we do not have to survive and then pass on survival to our family or the next generation. We reclaim our power and we create something new and different. A different rhythm of life, a different relationship, and a different future. We have choices and we have options. And you all agreed with me when I first asked you the question, what's more powerful? The legacy we inherited or the legacy we create? So even though we get bogged down by the legacy we inherited, because trust me, I got bogged down with that generational trauma, but we have the capacity to build secure love, grounded leadership, and love that does not cost us our peace, ladies. Our peace is not for sale. We don't want to negotiate our peace. As a licensed mental health counselor, that I can tell you is our number one asset. Nothing else matters more than our mental health and our peace. And that is the lever. When we finally start to recognize nothing comes above our mental health and our peace, because out of that foundation of sound and grounded peace, we can give, we can love, we can fight for what's right for others and ourselves from a place of groundedness. And this is where our beauty flows, our sacredness flows, our fearlessness flows.